Isabella faced unjust accusations and mistreatment from her in-laws, causing her immense suffering. Her mother-in-law's persistent claims of infidelity turned the entire family against her. Desperate to prove her innocence, Isabella stumbled upon unexpected evidence through hidden camera footage. This shocking discovery marked a turning point, setting the stage for Isabella's potential comeback.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Drama of Destiny. This story we're about to tell has a shocking twist beyond your imagination. First, let's get started.
I've got proof of your affair, ha ha ha, my Mill said confidently, suspecting me of cheating on my husband. She believes that the reason I can't have children with my husband, despite not having any issues from fertility tests, is because I'm cheating. According to her, I'm taking birth control pills to prevent having children, unsure whether they would be my husband's or my lover's. Really? That's amazing, Mom. Great job, Mom. So, she was cheating after all. Now we have a reason to kick her out. The whole family was overjoyed. My husband, Phil, and sister-in-law believed my Mill's words, and I'd been treated poorly by them for a long time. Actually, I've had a surveillance camera set up in your room for a while now, and it captured some great footage. She said she had noticed suspicious activities in my room and decided to install the camera, accusing me of wrongdoing. She showed the footage on her tablet, but what was shown there was beyond the imagination of the family. I'm Isabella Davis, 35 years old. I work from home for a design company. Right now, I'm living with my husband Matteo and his parents, John and Gianna, as well as his sister Ellie. I wasn't planning to live together, but Matteo asked because he was worried about his parents. Living with them made it difficult to commute to the office of the design company where I worked, so I talked to them about quitting. Then, the company suggested remote work. Thanks to this, I could continue working even after getting married. As someone who loves my job, I was grateful for the company's proposal. I enjoy my design work and often get absorbed in it. Oh no, I haven't cleaned the kitchen yet. I stopped working on my computer and headed to the kitchen. My Mill had asked me to clean it, and if I didn't finish before she got back, she'd have plenty to say. She doesn't think highly of my jobs. She thinks it's just a way to make a little money on the internet, and she is ridiculed for low income for my design work. Seriously, stop wasting time on your silly little side job and focus on your duties as a housewife, she'd say as she left the house. Moreover, there's no one else to help with chores. Matteo is busy with work, sometimes coming home late because of his sales job. Meanwhile, John, Gianna, and Ellie are rarely home, saying they're busy with hobbies or work. John's often out at night, having gotten into gambling since retiring, and I think he's addicted. Gianna and Ellie are big spenders, indulging in spa treatments and expensive shopping, a habit that started with Ellie asking for branded items and high-end treatments while she pursued a career in theater. Mill also joined Ellie in their extravagant hobbies, having discovered the allure of Ellie's interests. I suspect that the reason John and Gianna spend so much on their hobbies is because Matteo and I don't have children. From the beginning of our marriage, my in-laws have been saying, we want to see our grandchildren soon, but we haven't been able to have children. My Mill has always blamed me, saying I'm the cause of the infertility. Of course, I want kids too. I've been trying hard, but Mateo's cooperation is essential. When my in-laws were not in the living room, I talked to Matteo about trying for a baby and asked for his cooperation. You're already 35, so getting pregnant is probably impossible. Plus, kids are expensive. Just give up, Matteo said, turning away and drinking a beer. At least, let's get a fertility test. It doesn't take much time. That's a waste of time. Even if we do tests, what's the point? It's a hassle and costs money, he replied, setting his beer can on the table and going to the bedroom. Matteo always opposes trying for a baby. When I talked to my Mill about it, she said, it's your fault for not convincing him properly. And it's weird to ask Matteo to cooperate when you're the one with the problem. With no other choice, I went for a fertility test alone. The results showed no issues, confirming that the infertility wasn't because of me, which was a relief. I quickly showed the results to my Mill, explaining that I wasn't the reason for the infertility. But she said something outrageous. If your body can have kids, but you're not having any, you must be cheating. You're taking birth control because you don't want to mix up whose child it is, Mateo's or your lover's. I know everything. Cheating? I'm not doing anything like that, I denied firmly, but she wouldn't listen. Mom, why are you making such a fuss? My Sil, Ellie asked, looking tired as she approached us. Mateo and my Phil, John, were behind her. My Mill told them that I was having an affair. They all believed her strange claims, and the whole family became convinced I was cheating. Moreover, my Mill told the neighbors about my alleged affair, and Mateo even spread it at his workplace. Because of this, the neighbors and his coworkers began giving me cold looks. Even just going shopping made the neighbors give me cold stares, making even small outings unbearable. When I told my colleagues at work about you, they said, "Divorce her right away, so you get the hell out of here as soon as possible," Mateo said, sharing how his coworkers sympathized with him at every office party by spreading the rumor that I was a cheater. My in-laws also became more critical, commenting on everything I did. "Who wants to eat this awful meal? Let's go out to eat. It'll definitely be better." "Yes, let's all go." "I want to eat French food." "Sounds good, let's do that." "Get out of here, cheater." I feel sorry for Mateo. John gestured for the others to leave the house, and Ellie smirked triumphantly. I ignored her, cleaned up the uneaten meal, and continued with the chores I hadn't finished earlier. This kind of interaction happened daily. After that, my in-laws started eating out almost every day, increasing their already extravagant spending. While I appreciated them being out of the house more, it was still draining to face their harsh treatment whenever they were around. Mateo also doubted me, so I occasionally thought that getting a divorce might be easier. While working, I started researching post-divorce life, and I had packed my suitcase with essentials, ready to leave at any time. However, I also wanted to clarify the reason we couldn't have children. So one weekend, I handed Mateo a home fertility test kit. Of course, without telling him what it was. Unaware it was a fertility test, Mateo agreed to do it. After Mateo did the test, I mailed the fertility test kit and just had to wait for the results. They would be ready in a week. I couldn't wait for the next week, so I returned home. That night, while I was putting away the laundry, Mateo suddenly came up to me, looking furious, his face red. "Isabella, that test you made me do today was a fertility test, wasn't it? How dare you do that without my permission? It's because you wouldn't agree to take the fertility test. So if the test results show a problem, are you going to blame me for the infertility? Besides, the real reason we can't have kids is because you're cheating, right? You're always doing things that don't make any sense." Mateo then asked me to cancel the fertility test, but I told him that I had already sent the test kit and that I could not do that. "You just do whatever you want," he yelled, even angrier. A few days later, my Mill and Ellie returned home after dining at a fancy restaurant. My Mill smirked at me. Feeling uneasy, I continued with my chores, pretending not to notice. Later, Mateo and my Phil came home. Just as I was about to greet them, my Mill stood in front of them. "John, Mateo, can you sit down for a moment? Ellie, you too, and Isabella," she said, as if she had been waiting for this moment. What was going to happen? Not knowing anything, we all looked at her, waiting for her to speak. "Actually, I have proof that Isabella has been cheating. Seriously, that's amazing, Mom. Great job, Mom. So she really was cheating. Now we have a reason to kick her out." My Mill grinned at their reactions. And then she began to operate the tablet. My Mill continued, seemingly enjoying herself. "Actually, I've had a surveillance camera set up in my room for a while now. I got some really good footage." She had suspected that someone was doing inappropriate things in her room during the day. That's why there were traces of inappropriate acts. Believing the evidence pointed to me, Mill bought and installed a surveillance camera in the room. With a confident look, she showed us the footage on the tablet, and she pressed play to start video. The video showed a man and a woman entering the Mill's room and engaging in inappropriate acts. John and Ellie looked pale sitting nearby. Unaware of their reactions, my Mill continued to play the footage. However, the video was dark, making it hard to identify the people. My Mill paused the video and zoomed in on the woman. "This long hair is definitely Isabella. You were cheating after all." I stared at the woman in the video. It's true that I have long hair, but there was something that didn't match with the woman in the footage. But the woman in the video has brown hair. I have black hair, so this woman isn't me. What? The truth is, I've never dyed my hair, and it's always been black. My Mill looked back and forth between me and the woman in the video, bewildered. Maybe it just looks that way. Let's watch more of the video. Wait a minute. I took the tablet from my Mill and stared at the video. No matter how I looked at it, the woman in the video wasn't me. Hey, Isabella, are you trying to cover something up now? It won't work. Ignoring Madio's voice, I kept looking at the tablet. My Phil, sitting across from me, was trembling and staring at me. After fast-forwarded the video a bit, the person in the video became clearer. A woman with brown hair and a man with graying hair, they looked familiar. I glanced up at my Phil and Ellie. Phil and Ellie, sitting across from Mill, looked pale. In contrast, Mill looked satisfied. The contrasting expressions on their faces were so amusing that I had to stifle a laugh. Stifling a laugh, I zoomed in on the tablet screen of the disreputable act and showed the tablet to my in-laws and Sil. Isn't this you, Phil and Ellie? Isabella, don't say weird things. But from the hairstyles, it really looks like Phil and Ellie. I think we'll see it more clearly if we continue the video. I pressed play and advanced the video further, making the faces of the man and woman even clearer. Those clothes, I bought them for Ellie last week. Indeed, their faces look just like Phil and Ellie. My Mill stared at Ellie, her eyes wide. Ellie twitched and looked away from her. John, Ellie, it was you too. That's not true. Phil tried to protest, grabbing the tablet and fumbling with it. Clearly not used to handling it, he panicked. The truth is, both Phil and Mill were remarried. They each had children from previous marriages. Matteo was Phil's son, and Ellie was Mill's daughter. So, Phil and Ellie weren't biologically related. Still, having an affair is wrong, even without blood ties. Okay, that should do it, Phil said, placing the tablet on the table with a relieved look. You deleted the footage, coward. My Mill screamed to my Phil with red face. There's no more evidence, so it's pointless to argue, Phil said, looking down at her. Mill clenched her fists in frustration. Then, there was a mysterious clapping sound. Simultaneously, a high-pitched woman's voice could be heard. Not knowing where the sound came from, we all looked around. Isn't that coming from the tablet? I suggested, peering at it. The tablet was playing footage of another inappropriate act between a man and a woman. This time, it wasn't Phil and Ellie. Who could it be? I paused the video and zoomed in. Phil hurriedly looked at the screen. Isn't that Gianna and Matteo? I stared intently at the tablet video. Indeed, the man was wearing only a blouse, and it looked like Matteo. And beside the woman were the branded clothes Mill always said she liked. Yes, you're right, Phil. It does seem like Matteo and Mill. No, this is. Mill tried to protest, but the video continued. She had set up the surveillance camera herself and ended up capturing her own affair. I almost laughed at the sheer irony of it all. When I sped up the video, Matteo and Ellie appeared next. They clearly engaging in inappropriate acts. Matteo and Ellie's improper actions were clearly displayed on the screen. Matteo, so it wasn't just with Mill, but also with Ellie? Isabella, this isn't what it looks like. How could you? I can't believe you had an affair with Matteo. That's my line. Big brother, messing around with mom is disgusting. Shut up, Ellie, you're just as bad. My in-laws' family began arguing amongst themselves, completely ignoring me. I couldn't believe how messed up their relationships were. I was stunned by the ugly argument unfolding my in-laws' family. Well, for now, I'm divorcing Matteo. Don't say that. In such a tough situation, you're just going to abandon us? I have no feelings for you anymore. As I said, I went to my room and grabbed the suitcase I'd packed earlier. Before leaving, I took the tablet from the arguing in-laws family. I transferred the videos of Mill and Matteo and Ellie to my phone. I figured they'd be useful evidence if things went to court. Ignoring the arguing in-laws, I left the house. As I left the house, I noticed a group of neighbors gathered nearby. Oh, what brings you all here? They explained that they'd heard the family arguing and were curious. I explained everything that had happened in detail. The neighbors listened in shock, nodding along. The neighbors still gave me cold looks. While I wasn't sure if they believed me, I just wanted to get away, so I said a quick goodbye and headed to the nearest station. I then explained the situation to my parents and decided to go back to my family home. I need to find a lawyer. Going through a divorce would be complicated. I knew life would be hectic once I returned home. I prepared myself in my mind and got on the train. Upon returning to my parents' home, my parents and I sought out a lawyer with a strong background in divorce mediation. I explained everything to the lawyer and showed the videos of the improper actions. The lawyer confirmed that the videos were strong evidence and said I could claim compensation. After that, the scandal involving my in-laws became a big deal, and the rumors spread in the neighborhood. Hoping the truth would get out, I prepared for the divorce mediation with the lawyer. A month later, I was scheduled to meet Mateo for the mediation. Why are Phil, Mill, and Ellie here? What's wrong with bringing them along? I didn't invite them. It's problematic. The once well-dressed family looked shabby, especially Mill and Ellie, who had always worn designer clothes. Isabella, why is there almost no money left in our accounts? You stole the money, didn't you? Thief. I didn't steal anything, but it makes sense there's no money left. How do you know that? Their extravagant lifestyle had been unsustainable with just Phil's pension and Mateo's income. Despite claiming to be pursuing a career as a stage actress, Ellie was essentially unemployed, spending her days with Mill. My income as a designer was more than double Mateo's, and my earnings had been supporting the family's lavish lifestyle. After I moved out, I had my salary deposited into a different account, so none of my money was going to the in-laws. I was the reason you could live comfortably. Now you understand, I said, preparing to move to the waiting room with my lawyer for the mediation. Suddenly, Mateo grabbed my arm. Isabella, I know I was wrong. Please, let's try again. I won't ever falsely accuse you of cheating again. Isabella, I'm sorry. I promise I won't say anything hurtful again. I'll start looking for a job too. I'll be serious about it. Please, give us another chance. Phil bowed his head deeply. But they were only saying this because they realized how much I was earning. It was clear they were just after the money. It's too late for that. I will be seeking alimony, so make sure to pay it. But we don't have any money, and you're still demanding alimony? That's cruel. And Mateo, here is, I said, handing him a document. Mateo looked confused as he took it. Is this? It was the result of Mateo's fertility test. After returning to my parents' house, I had arranged for the testing company to send the results there. The results showed that the problem was with Mateo. Mill saw the document what I handed to Mateo, and looked at me with an apologetic expression. I'm so sorry for doubting you, Isabella. We won't do anything like this again. It's too late. Please handle everything through my lawyer from now on. Let's go, Isabella, I said, heading to the waiting room with my lawyer. Mateo eventually agreed to the divorce and alimony, and we divorced without issue. 5 years later, I used the alimony to start my own design company. I partnered with colleagues I had a good relationship with before marriage, and now I'm fully focused on running the company. It's still small, but I'm balancing work and personal life well. Isabella, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Let's eat a lot today. Today, I went to a popular cafe with a friend. This friend had been close to me since before I got married and lived near my former in-laws. After placing our orders, we caught up on each other's lives. By the way, I heard your ex-husband is going through a tough time. Really? According to my friend, the scandal from the infidelity broke up my former in-laws. My former in-laws had, of course, divorced. They had been living extravagantly and were now barely getting by with day labor jobs, struggling financially. The neighborhood still talked about the scandal, and my former in-laws felt the weight of the shame. It sounds like things have been rough for them. Owen. Wow, Owen has gotten so big since I last saw him. Is he? After the divorce, I had remarried and had a child. I met my current husband at a corporate seminar. At first, we were colleagues, working hard together. But my husband suddenly confessed his feelings, and we started dating. We quickly got married, and I gave birth to our son, Owen. Despite being an older mother, my husband was very supportive during the process, and we were blessed with Owen. Oh, by the way, I have a present for Owen. His birthday is coming up, right? Is it okay? Thank you so much. There will surely be challenges as Owen grows up, but with my husband, I know we can overcome anything. I want to keep smiling and live life to the fullest.
Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed the story, please give it a like. If you're interested in other stories, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.